Hello, this is Danny. Welcome to a whole nother awesome review. Today, I thought I'd do something different and review all the Charles Manson movies. I got kind of interested in the Charles Manson movies because I was watching a documentary on IFC on Charles Manson, and so I was like, I gotta watch all the Charles Manson movies and see if I like them or not. So I went out and I picked up these 4 Charles Manson movies right here. And I decided to review them all and tell you if they're any good or not. So anyways, first up is Helter Skelter. Some people absolutely hate this movie, some people love it. If I was to rate this movie out of 10, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's not a terrible movie. In fact, the guy who plays Manson actually does a very good job. It gets a little bit annoying in some scenes because, every time it goes to a murder scene, it doesn't actually show you the bodies that good. It kind of just does a lot of cuts and stuff. And but back then they couldn't actually show really intense gory stuff. They had to cut stuff out. But every time it cuts to that, they play the Helter Skelter song, and it gets really annoying. So I have a lot of problems with the movie. But the guy who plays Manson is brilliant, and it is a pretty good film. It's not horrible. It's actually quite enjoyable. I would give it a 6 out of 10. It's one of those movies I would think you would want to watch once, and doesn't really have replay value except for the guy who plays Manson does a wonderful job in the courtroom scene where he's talking about everyone. The guy who plays Manson is brilliant, but unfortunately the other actresses in this film are not as good. The only good actor in the entire film is the guy who plays Manson, and the actresses that are in the film are just horrible, and that's another problem with the film. So it gets a 6 out of 10 by me. The guy who plays Manson is brilliant. The direction is not that good. The story's kind of weak, and it kind of makes itself out to be this Manson movie, but really it's really a courtroom film. The whole, pretty much entire film takes place in a courtroom. So there you go. Okay, so now on to the Manson Family. This was actually recommended by Roger Ebert, and I absolutely hated this film. The guy who played Manson was terrible. He didn't look like Manson at all. Manson has those really chilling eyes, and he sounds like Manson's just a scary guy, and the guy who plays Manson in this movie is not good. I really hated this film. I had to sit through it just to know how much I hated it. I was like, I hate this movie, but I gotta watch it because I gotta review it. And really what they did was they took all these interviews of all these with all the Manson family, and they recreated it through this movie, right? And so it's not really... It jumps around a lot, and it's really not that good. And there's stuff happening in this movie that never even happened, and they're recreating stuff that did happen. And it's just really boring. I would highly suggest not watching this film because I absolutely hated it. Manson Family. I didn't like this movie at all. If I was to rate this out of 10, I would probably give it... I don't know. I didn't like anything about this movie. Ugh, I don't know what I would rate this at. 0 to 10. It sucks. Okay. Okay, next up, Manson, My Name is Evil. A lot of people call this movie comedy. It's actually a satirical comedy. It kind of pokes fun at a lot of stuff, and it's kind of weird actually. But they're poking fun at how America has a death penalty, and they're poking fun at all these weird things to get political points across and stuff. But I don't even think that they should have used the material in a satirical fashion. I mean, I don't know. Well, the guy who plays Manson in this movie is brilliant, and that's a plus. The soundtrack is very good for this film. That's one of the best things about this film is the music. And the actresses that play in this movie are really good. Fortunately, the script's not that good. The writing's not that good, and the direction is way off. And and it doesn't focus on what it should focus on, which is Manson himself. It more focuses on the people, who acted out the Manson murders. And that's the problem with this movie. The guy who plays Manson is so brilliant, and if the movie just focused on him instead of Leslie, the movie would have been great. But no, the whole entire film is about this guy who's in love with Leslie, who doesn't want to vote for her death penalty. That's the whole entire film. I mean, the movie's called Manson, My Name is Evil. I don't see the title being Leslie, My Name is Evil. Do you see it? Like, it's crazy. Like, why would you call it Manson, My Name is Evil and have it not even be about Charles Manson? It's like false advertising. So if I was to rate this out of 10, well, considering that it has a good soundtrack and considering that the guy who plays Manson and the actresses are fantastic, I would rate this movie out of 10 a 5 out of 10. It's the direction's not as good as Helter Skelter, but it has better actors in it. Like actresses. It has better actresses in it. The Manson family is really in this film. You feel that Charles Manson is in the courtroom in this film. You feel that that the Manson family is in the courtroom. And Helter Skelter, you don't really feel that, but you do in this film. Unfortunately, the direction is off, the script is off, and it's just trying to be a political satire of the Charles Manson murders. There's a couple of gripping scenes that feel serious, but it just doesn't quite focus on what it should. So I give it a 5 out of 10. The Manson family is 0 out of 10, and Helter Skelter a 6 out of 10. And finally, we come to Manson. This is a documentary. This is the one that I watched on IFC, the History Channel documentary. Fantastic. Linda Kasabian tells her story in this. Fantastic. When you actually hear the real story from Linda Kasabian, you finally realize that the real story behind Manson is darker, more grittier than those movies that I watch could ever be. It is intense to the core, and they have like actors acting scenes out in this documentary when Linda Kasabian is talking about it, and you just get so involved like watching this, like you're like, whoa, this is crazy, this actually happened. So if I was going to rate this out of 10, I would give it a 10 out of 10. Reality is far more scary than anything Hollywood could ever think of. So I would highly suggest picking this up, maybe Helter Skelter, and Manson, My Name is Evil. Maybe check it out, rent it. But yeah, I would definitely suggest picking this up. This is the one that you should get. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my review. Have an awesome night.